All right, here we are again with the Slay Second Edition podcast, Squad Deathaxe, Season 4,
Whoop whoop.
Episode 2. Um, I'm Almighty Brandon, and here are your players. Diamond, are you ready for
Good.
introductions? Go ahead.
Diamond playing Sputnik, the advanced carry and heavy support package.
All right, and then next we got Jacob.
Hello, my name is Jacob. I play Damocles, the Xeno Scout, and I think the only and the best Xeno Scout that the squad has ever seen.
And then we got Cody.
Yo, I'm Rooney, the ruthless lawyer now.
Eben, or
Yeah, I'm an
Braymaster.
Eben investigator.
Yes. I always forget the investigator part. And
Everyone does.
then we got Brenna.
I am playing Seller, the Wraith and Ebb Hunter.
Dawson.
I'm playing Krieg, the scout master of the group.
And that other guy.
Oh, shit. Did we get someone else, or you didn't forget someone as magnanimous as me?
I didn't forget you, Drew. Go ahead.
Drew playing Animus, the Ebon Medic.
All
Let's
right.
Drew
get to
forgot Animus instead of the
That other guy.
DM.
That other guy. So I've got to catch a couple people up because, well, no, I just think just Jacob.
Hunter.
Huh?
Just
Yes.
Jacob, yeah.
Yep. So Jacob, just to get the ball rolling, it's been about 3 months since the incident in Cannibal Sector, and if you listened to the last podcast, basically you guys were given a cover story, and you know promptly sent out on your own business, and you guys have kind of had about 3 months of downtime, or you know the last 3 months can be considered downtime, so your character can screw around and number one, you got to pay your rent and any costs associated with that. And then you got to, you know, we can kind of go over some of that stuff we had talked about your character wanting to cover. Also, Mr. Slurps, I see you popped in.
I'm sorry. What's
uh,
happening?
we
I didn't
we
mean
we
to-
just cranked up the podcast. You're welcome to hang out and spectate.
Oh yeah, I'll just ignore I'm here. Sorry.
Oh, you're all good, man. It's good to see you. But all right, and so I know Jacob Damocles has had some things he wanted to pursue. I think I have some decent answers to some things that you might want to know. But if you need a reminder or you want to just tell me what you've been doing, number one, do you have Good Housing 1?
I have good housing 2, I think,
All
but
right.
I've been staying over at. Well, actually, no, I should still be paying for good housing 2.
Yeah, you'll
So-
absolutely still have to pay. So that's going to be 200 credits in rent. Now,
Okay.
Now you did participate in the platinum mission, so remember you did get your SCL increase, and you did get the 1,000 credits from that. With that being said, um, yeah, what do you want to go over? Do you have any XP to spend?
Yes, actually. I had a total of 10 experience points. I will spend to decrease my rank from Rifle 2 to 3.
Perfect.
And due to certain things, I also got a new rank in Drive Military.
That seems like a really good idea.
Yeah.
All right, so that kind of goes into some of the stuff you said asked about, inquiring about. But go ahead, you tell me, and we'll talk about it.
All right. Should I go over the list I sent you word for word?
Um, bullet
Let's
points.
not.
Bullet points.
Bullet points. Yeah. So, quote unquote, what the GM said, doing the Damocles, aka taking care of my dependent, is number one thing.
All right. So the thing is you know you have good housing too. Your dependent's in a good school. She naturally has been having some acclimation error or problems with the school, given her rough quote unquote upbringing. Um, I would say that her behavior hasn't gotten any worse. But she has been enrolled in sign language, and she has picked up quite a bit of sign language. So anybody who has sign language can communicate with her.
Oh yeah, I always forgot. I got sign language as well. I imagine Damocles, instead of learning sign language, he just went to school and learned sign language with her.
I mean,
That's
that's fine with me.
yeah.
So she has some things she's going to tell you pretty soon. Um,
Hmm.
but we'll cover that in play. Uh,
She's your father.
so what's the next thing you wanted to do?
Oh, okay. Should be important. Attempted meeting at the bar at in Uptown Mort with the one who's watching Damocles in at his apartment. So for context, with I think this was before the whole final Momic. It was before the Platinum, if I remember correctly. Damocles wanted to leave a card or some sort of indicator to meet up at a sushi bar, and he's been waiting, see if anyone is going to arrive, and he will come with a dosage of honesty with him.
Mm. Well, so you're attempting to engineer a meeting with someone you don't know their name. Um, what I'll do is if you want to try and catch that person where you can talk to them, I'll need some kind of I mean more than a stealth. I'm gonna call that more of a streetwise. That's just
That's
you. Yeah, that's more of a spying function. Uh,
true, though. I was just trying to maybe invite him, see if he is going to talk, but I'll roll streetwise anyway, see if I can.
well, okay. Well, if you're just gonna walk over to the apartment next door and knock on it, I'll just
N-
I'll just tell you someone else has moved in.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then I guess I'll try to find the guy then. So
Well,
street.
yeah. Give me a streetwise and a detect. I'm gonna just
Okay,
see how much of a gumshoe you actually are.
all right.
We say the streetwise difficulty is gonna be 10 because it's gonna be um, difficult at best.
Makes sense. All right, and Yahtzee. That is a success with 2 degrees.
Excellent. Now give me a detect. Same difficulty.
Okay. Let me just check real quick. Okay. I am going to use my luck on this.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a success by 1 degree.
Okay. So what I can tell you between the streetwise and the detect, I mean, neither one of them was epic. Uh, but you see, it seems as if your tail, the person following you, is gone. Um, it doesn't seem as if that's an issue at the moment. Um,
Hmm. So they just up and disappeared.
yeah, no, I mean it's completely it's gone completely quiet. It seems as if you know either they're out there and you're just not good enough to catch them, or they've completely dropped off the face of the earth.
All right. Oh, okay. Well, Diamond, we're hearing some stuff on your end.
But
What?
oh, we were getting some feedback. It's fine.
Yeah. We're just getting feedback. Simon.
All right. Yeah, as disappointing as that is, um, yeah, like I said, it kind of ends up being a dead trail. Um, and what's the next thing? I'm just gonna
Uh,
say there wasn't any activity to that you could find.
Sadly, yes.
Mm.
Ask the child what the seed meant, where the one that gave him before before he went off to the platinum.
Um,
He's he still has the seed, so
yeah. She gives you the sign. Like she seems to be like she's not college level sign language here. She's like beginner level sign language, and so are you. Um, give me a language roll. I want to see how much you pick up from that actually. Does
okay.
anybody know what skill language is based on?
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Yeah, so give me a knowledge roll. Difficulty 7.
All right.
Seems average. Make it a 4.
Okay, good. Then that's a pass by 2 degrees.
Okay. So when you start asking about various things, she starts signing excitedly about the seed, and she just keeps signing mother over and over again. You're not really sure what to take about that, and it's confused at best as any further questioning about that. Um, she also does manage to sign something else pretty primitive to you that with your 2 degrees and the simple language of this she's able to get across to you. Thank you for helping me. I'm sorry you got hurt, and she seems to motion to her forehead or even your head.
Okay. Uh, yeah, yeah. Damocles is gonna put 2 and 2 together, and it, it's all right if I like go in conversation and you said you know about bullet, I guess, is what he's trying
Um,
to convey in sign language, or is there's nothing?
she give me a persuasion roll because this is this is going to be more detail. Difficulty 7.
Okay. And okay, fail but not a botch.
Okay. Honestly, you're asking her about a pretty potentially grisly situation, and she seems to shy away from the topic at the bare minimum. And she seems to clam up about it, at least for now, considering she's
Okay.
what 8 years old.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. I'll just sign language. It's okay. Tell me when you're ready. It's
Okay.
fine. I'm okay now.
And the next bullet point, just so we can get everybody else involved. What did you have?
Uh, Try to contact other squad members, see if we can get Scully's APC out of Cannibal Sector.
That will be a more of a long-term project. I know I said that was maybe a downtime thing. I will say that it would be possible to re-requisition it, but since Scully died, it's the ownership of that APC, even if it's in Cannibal Sector, would revert back to Mort or the industry, Slay Industries, because it's a loaner. It's not a permanent. It's not her. There's no willing that vehicle to someone else.
I see. Okay, so
That
it's
being said, y'all could
not.
always go and requisition another one, but if y'all like that one in particular, y'all could try to go and pursue that. And honestly, y'all got Cody. You might be able to do it.
Yeah, I guess, Cody, I'll just hit up Rooney, like with a voicemail or something, asking you, hey, this is Damocles. Is it possible to get like Scully's APC out of Cannibal Sector? Just let me know when you're available. Beep.
Cody, I'm going to swap to you for the moment since I've got a number of small intros to pursue. Two things.
Yay!
Two things. You've got that little voicemail mail from Damocles, and I'm just going to be a dick to you. Now look, you've been working for ABC Marketing pretty thoroughly. You've also been pursuing, your work as an operative. If you want to try and start the labyrinthine, I keep using that word, the not necessarily colossal, but a huge pain in the ass effort to get a dead squad member's APC somehow assigned to another party member for some reason, you could start doing that. But what I'm going to do is if you try to do that right now in the middle of all this other stuff, I'm going to jack up your admin DCs on everything you do just because it's a pain in the ass. Um, do you want to try to do that right now? You're
Like, when you
you're
say
welcome
jack
to
up my admin DC, are you
by
talking
by
about
one
just
degree
for
of
this
difficulty.
role?
No, any admin roles you make in regards to the bureaucracy of Slay Industries, I'm going to jack up for this session. You got a lot going on right now. Matter of fact,
I know.
you're Mr. ABC Marketing. I forget what we called him, but that Christian Bale guy, he looks like the guy from American Psycho with a very fine suit. He's actually
Yeah.
He's actually in your office, waiting to talk to you right now.
That's fine. He can wait a minute.
Okay.
So realistically, I'm gonna call Damocles back.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll answer the phone, noticing it's your number.
Got your voicemail.
All right. So, is it possible, or is it upkiss?
Gonna be a pain in the ass, and I don't want to do it.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I just figure I'd give it a shot.
Now, if you want, you can go to like the BPN hall or something like that and lease an APC.
That is a normal procedure, by the way.
So
providing the BPN like calls for something like that, you can file paperwork and they'll give you loaner vehicles depending on the needs of the
yeah,
resources.
you can see if our current one would allow it, and if not,
but it's not going to be your daily driver.
So.
But you could get it up to a month or a couple months, realistically.
Mm.
You might just have to rely on some of your other squad members to help you get that paperwork filled out.
Yeah.
Which is fair. That's their superpower.
Yeah, so Damocles is just going to side of it. I'm a bit busy at the moment right now. I'll probably do it in the future, honestly. It's nice to have some wheels. Also, I went through reading this driver's manual. So
You can read?
I mean, yes, I can read. I mean, I can read the cover of this right here. Driver 101 for Dummies.
Not gonna lie. Thoroughly impressed.
Okay, Malfoy.
No, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and push y'all to get together so everybody can role play.
Yeah.
But I got one more thing.
Oh, I forgot one point. Shoot. Sorry, Brandon. Yeah.
Okay,
Dude.
well, I'm gonna hang up with you and head to my office so that when James gets back to me, we can start there.
Oh yeah, for certain. I forgot a very important thing that I can't believe I forgot. Do you remember that first thing I said before the points about see if I could get into a private conversation with Mr. Slayer since he was right in front of us in the previous season?
I'm just gonna tell you that's not gonna happen.
Yep, that's fair. That is very fair.
But I do appreciate your bravery.
Yeah, I was just yeah, I figured I shoot my shot. Okay, I shoot my shot.
You know,
hit on Mr. Slayer.
If you want to say something in front of him with everybody there, I'm willing to retcon something small, but yeah, a lot's happened since then.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess instead of saying what I was originally gonna say, I just like to show him that, and I'll just want to say in front of him, looks like the Manchines wants to return home. That's
the head of Mimir or something.
Yeah, the head of Mimir.
Yeah. I will say there isn't a witty retort to that one. That being said, it is well known at this point that the Manchines have come home. Some of the Manchines have come home to roost. It's well known within operative life at this point that Manchines are being issued to certain slay squads.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering if this was a transition on how that came to be.
Yeah,
at least for your games.
Yeah, because it says in collateral it's a recent occurrence. Which is fine, makes sense to me. Cody, I'm gonna pop over to you just so I can get this ball rolling. The Christian Bale guy, I'm just gonna call him Bale from now on. In his very fine suit with his weird looking. I mean, this guy just has that just destroy everybody kind of outlook, I guess. He smiles and he passes you a piece of paper and he says, I thought you might want to do this one yourself.
I will read said paper.
It's literally court service for some squad called Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, and basically they're in breach of contract, and they and they someone needs to serve them. He said, I could have your secretary do it if you don't want to. He says, but it's good to see the shark hunt every now and then.
If I serve, how much is my commission?
He says, well, at the end of the case, you'll get a little quality bonus there, provided things go well.
What if I get them to pay me while I'm there?
Even better.
Does it tell me how much they have to pay?
It's basically just this huge like legalese document, basically just serving them and saying the 40 different ways they're in breach of contract because they're morons. It it's kind of like Brenna's. It's a couple thousand credits fine basically. You can stick it in your pocket and do it later if you want. But if it's gonna become like a thing involving scenes and stuff, solo scenes, I'll probably just save it for later.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I have no problem doing it, but I
Mm.
would just essentially confront them and, like, want to do a quick little 2-3 minute do a roll for either
Okay.
intimidate or
I'll be
persuasion.
glad to glaze over this one with you because like it's not hard to find these squads, especially with some of the resources available to ABC. One of y'all's private investigators tells you,
Yeah.
they're at such and such place at such and such time, and you can show up. It's basically a large frother squad, uh, and they look about as clean and organized as their squad name sounds. They're uh, they're a rough looking crew. Um, not a bureaucrat or an investigator amongst them. Um,
Yeah.
and if you want, they're at some what I would call a dive bar. And you're welcome to roll up on me.
I'm literally just gonna walk up and be like, "So, quick question: which one's in charge?"
Somebody give me a Scottish name.
Scotty.
Sean.
McCracken.
Sean McCracken.
O'Connor.
Sean McCracken O'Connor is sitting there in front of you. You can recognize him by his badge and some of the paperwork that you have. Sean McCracken O'Connor. He says, "Well met. You're what do you what's an Eben doing here? We don't got
Marvelous,
you looking
marvelous
for a
things. That's
squad?
what I'm doing. No, I mean, I am looking for a squad, but not for that. So pretty much gonna lay this down, and we're gonna make this quick, or we're gonna make it hard. Up to you, however you decide. Pretty much, hand the document in front of him and say, "This is the document we're gonna submit today for y'all being in violation. Now, there's a fine attached. You pay me the fine right now. It's that number. You don't pay me the fine, I quadruple it, and we take you to court.
Give me
And
an
I promise
intimidate
you,
roll.
bye. Don't fail me, dice.
You don't have any dice? I'm
No, I
gonna
have them. I said don't fail me. What's
I'm
the
gonna say
DC?
the difficulty's 7.
Okay, so not that bad.
So ones are not an auto fail. So at a 7, I did not pass, but I also did not botch.
So it's just a regular fail. That's fine.
Yeah.
He says he throws the paperwork at you and he says, "Look, man, we ain't got that kind of cheddar. We'll see your ass in court or something." He says,
Well, in
"Now get
court,
out
you're
of
gonna
here.
have
You're
to pay.
stinking up the bar."
Then let's turn the table. Can I roll persuasion to final option?
Um, if you're gonna try and kiss ass after intimidating, I'm gonna make the difficulty like even harder. Go ahead and give me a perception or a persuasion at 13. But tell me how you're persuading him. How are you trying to sweeten this deal and unsour this milk?
So essentially, let's roll with if you pay me today, I'll cut 500 off. And we will call your slate clean and you start fresh with ABC.
All right, go ahead and make that persuasion roll.
Alright. Dice do well today. Thank fucking Jesus. So, 1, yes, I did pass DC. So, persuasion is a +5.
Did you
So,
get
I think I just passed it. I didn't get a
just a like
success or
a normal
super.
pass?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Cody, like I said, I'm not gonna let it like fall into your personal character's bank account. Like it'll have to
No,
fall. It'll have to go to
yeah.
ABC. But you know what? I will say you made him a fair, what I would consider a fair yet cutthroat offer for ABC, which will basically amount to 1,500 credits to the company. That whole squad's gonna end up paying it. It's gonna end up costing them a lot. But you know what? That's what happens when you do dumb deals with companies and don't have anybody who can read the paperwork. Okay, he ends up signing, and we'll end up concluding that one, and with maybe more of a neutral attitude. Had you botched it, frothers are known to get angry.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah,
Um,
so pretty much just shake his hand, take it back to bail
I am
to
gonna
the
say a
office
shake of the
and put it
hand
on stuff.
seems asking a little bit much, but he will say, you drive a hard bargain.
That's my job.
And he says something about he feels like he just got fucked in the ass as you walk away.
As I close the door, just be like, "Wear lube," and I'm just gonna walk.
Okay. All right. Now, and again, I'm going to try to get everybody involved. I don't want to fluff up this too much. Drew, Brenna, real quick, I may need you to drop into another channel, so be prepared. But
Okay.
Brenna, you do get a note from a certain organization
Mhm.
you're with that there's a meeting that you need to make, need to attend very soon. Do you want to go ahead and do that?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right. Channel 2 real quick. Sorry, guys.
You're good.
All right. Hey, Brendan, can you
All
hear me?
right.
Okay. Obviously, they're gonna listen to the podcast afterwards,
Well,
or
yeah.
some of them might. So this is this is not super secret. But you end up getting kind of a drop at a prearranged spot, basically saying that hey, you need to meet up at a certain table at the pit tonight, at a certain time. We'll say 7 o'clock.
Okay.
You end up meeting out there, and there's a particular agent you've worked with several times. His name is Teuton.
You're
He's
on. Okay.
kind of an older guy. Um, you may remember him from previous seasons. He worked with Magpie.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, that guy. Um,
Oh,
I like recurring characters. What can I say? Um, he mentions. He says, "Look, I've got some information about this BPN you're about to go on. And to be honest, it's looking it's like it's going to be really messy. Um,
how so?
most of the details are classified even above my level. Uh,
You-
but it looks like it's going to be kind of a shit show in enemy territory. Um, what we've managed to work out is we're putting an additional asset in play for you. Um, if you need something,
Okay.
uh, he's going to be the pilot of the ship. Um, I'm not going to mention his name here, but it's the pilot. Uh, and basically he knows you're working with us, and if you need anything special, he'll work with you. He's reliable, but he's unconventional.
Okay.
Um,
Does he know to expect me?
yeah, he just let him know you're working with us, and he knows somebody's going to be there.
Okay.
We kind of we try to keep we don't mention names often if we can.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I will say some of his associates are not trustworthy, and specifically some of them are dangerous. But it's best not to cause a stink if you can.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, that's all I had for you.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna jump back in the
Thank you
channel.
for the info. Bye.
Your
I was
play
gonna
from
All
now
right,
on.
we're back.
I was gonna play Krieg, but Brandon wanted to introduce the Jeth, so we introduced the Jeth.
All
Fair,
right.
fair.
I know I'm just beating y'all up with all this side stuff real quick. I just wanted to organize this before we got underway. Drew, real quick. I don't think
Hmm?
what you're doing is any way a secret unless you want it to be. We'll say your extra city activities.
Yeah.
Do you care?
I mean, I'm not like outwardly involving anyone, but I'm not hiding it.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the phrase?
They're not
Phrase
in
it
the. Huh?
Well, the phrase that basically says they can't. Uh, they know enough to not testify against me in court.
Okay. Well, I just want to kind of summarize, like, so you say you're already underway. You've already spent the reality fold. You got the reality fold 4 to make it possible. So you're doing your shipments. Um, Number one, I'd kind of like you to just go ahead and roll a Haggle roll DC 7 just to give me kind of an abstract and see how you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, difficulty 7.
That is charisma.
Is it? Does anybody have Haggle? Somebody call it for me.
It's
It,
charisma.
it's charisma. There you go. I want to know how well you do
I actually, it would be a 10 for me,
because you
but
don't have it.
I don't have it.
That's
But
fine.
I fail, but I don't botch.
Okay, Drew. I'm gonna say literally, like, I mean, for the first couple months, you're trying to set this thing up, and yeah, you are doing some small trades, but the settlers are very hesitant. I mean, yeah, you do kind of know, you've kind of vaguely met a couple of them, but it's a large community of people out there, and
Hmm.
they're pretty tight knit and close lipped. Um, the other thing I was going to get you to do is are you? I assume you're going to be spending some time out there with them. I'll also give you a streetwise roll, but this one's going to be a harder difficulty. It's going to be difficulty 10
Okay.
because,
Doesn't
like I
have
said,
streetwise.
you basically are inquiring as to the things they need, the things they want, what's going on. Um, and in the current environment, it's pretty bad for them out there.
Again, a fail, but no botch.
Okay, I am not going to give you some information that you might have found interesting, and I'm sorry. It sucks to be you. All right. Um,
As long as I can try again later.
You can always try again later. We'll save it for another game, another time.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, and because he is the furthest away, Diamond, I'm gonna keep you on the back burner for another minute. Uh, just because. Um, Krieg, Dawson,
See,
Dawson, you're already on
yes.
site, and I don't really want to spoil too much of the setting on them. Um, but I'm gonna say that you've been on the starbase for a few days, if not a week already. I'm gonna say you found the conditions out there difficult at best. Um, Honestly, I'm gonna save yours for the start of the game. I feel like I should because I don't like I said I don't want to spoil anything. And
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be too long till they get to you. Um, Well, let me do this for me. I at
Mhm.
least want you to make some kind of what did we call this roll? Give me a persuade roll to see if you have open communications back and forth with your squad.
Alright. Uh, well, even with the difficulty increase, I pass. But what's the number? It'd be 7 to 10, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'll say it's a 7 because it shouldn't be overly difficult.
So it'd go to 10 because I don't have persuade, but I
Did you get
still
a
passed
number?
with
How many successes did you get?
no successes, but I passed.
Just a plain pass. All right. What
Yeah.
kind of message are you trying to convey back to the squad? Um, I'm I'm not gonna say it's just pure serendipity that you happen to be at the place they're gonna go. It's that maybe they mention it to you at some point, and then you go there and you're there several days before they are. And that's the
Yeah.
reason you're there. Just
Okay.
kind of make it make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we could use that other thing that she has access to and be like it's a relay back to her, and then she can give a message back to them.
Okay. Um, Either ways, which one do you want to do?
We'll do where she got told what was going down and she's sending something back.
Okay, were you gonna say it's through through direct communications from the station, or are you gonna say it's through your little network of friends?
Uh, Through a network, it's going to be anonymous because there is a squad mate who can get access to that little secret channel
Hmm.
in Animus.
Okay. Well, go ahead and tell him what you pass on the information that you need to pass on to him. Just don't be super wordy with it.
Uh, she's gonna just tell him that station seems fine. Prepare for potential hostile environment and cut it there.
Okay. Yeah, guys, and I guess what I'm trying to patch together here is that at some point you guys have communicated with Krieg just to make this make sense, and he kind of went out ahead because he was
She,
doing something or she went out ahead and she was doing something independently for her downtime actions, and she's just gonna meet y'all there because she was kind of, let's say, flooding on the outer rim. Other than that, let's go ahead and get in play. You guys, y'all have your BPN. I will reread the BPN for y'all real quick. It says it's a yellow mission. It's retrieve the expedition team and any mission-sensitive supplies on planet Cradle in the ARA system. Transportation available. Personnel list available. And there's 3 names on it. The reward is SCL plus zero point 0.4, which is pretty huge actually, and it's 350 credits per op reward, which is also massive for y'all's usual payouts. And packages required is any. Um, Thus far, you guys have been given the name of a ship at the starbase in Mort Central. Or sorry, it's the starport in Mort Central, and you guys have less than 7 days to make your appointment. Um, the name of the ship is the Dark Horizon.
What's the distance? Like, when do we need to leave? Is it 7 days till we have to be on the ship headed
You
there,
have to
or 7 days?
report to the Dark Horizon within the next 6 days.
6 days. Okay.
Just difficult as I'm going to
I
be about it.
am going to. When we last left off, I sent a text to everyone saying meet at the port.
I am
I
not
think.
going to say the mission is going to get any easier the longer you wait, because
Yeah.
you're looking for some kind of expedition that may have run into difficulties, and the longer you wait, it may change things.
Yeah. I did send the text message telling everyone that was participating in this VPN, or I should say to the entire Deathaxe squad, to go to the port to get ready for this. So we all should be at the port if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so y'all get together that next day, and How are y'all getting there? Y'all just all taking public transport to get there, or whatever cars, buses, planes, trains, whatever y'all got?
Public
Yeah.
transport. Yeah,
Okay, y'all are rolling up on public transportation. I love it.
we all
Fuck
roll out on the same
yeah!
bus.
No style. No style.
They don't have. Cody doesn't have Krieg to drive him to the port this time, like she had him drive around town a bunch of times.
Uh,
Non-magics needing transport.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, me and Drew could reality fold there if we really
y'all
wanted.
could y'all been to the port before, so yes, and it's definitely within Drew's range for sure. He
It should
has,
be within mine.
yeah. Can you transport a couple kilometers?
I got 2.
You would have you would have to reality fold several times, because not only would you have to get to to Mort Central from Suburbia 3, which is not a hard thing to do with a couple kilometers, but the horizontal distance maybe a couple hundred, not a couple hundred miles, but you know,
A while.
it could be up to 100 miles away,
Yeah.
which is
So either way,
pretty
we're
far.
all meeting at the port.
Okay. Yeah, y'all all end up
And
meeting up at Gauze training out to the starport.
and the other thing was, we're gonna go ahead and say that we did the branding of the ABC logo.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm actually more curious. Is anybody specifically avoiding branding their armor with ABC?
Nope.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you've
Hey,
got
yes.
it, you've got passive income.
as
To
long as you're 9 or higher.
Yeah, Hunter or Damocles, did you have at least a SCL 9? Or are you a 10 still?
I'm a 10. 1 second, let me check real quick.
And
I
is
I am
that
at
also, did you add the 1 point SCL?
Yeah, I did. I'm at 10.9A. I am 1 point away
Okay.
from
So
yeah, 1 point away from getting the sponsorship.
yeah. So yeah, you'll get a little bit of extra cash every downtime to help alleviate some of those massive expenditures. Now, I will say I hope everybody repaired their armors, and if you had armor damage, I hope you've paid for it, and if you haven't, I could give you the cost for it right now, really quick. Um,
I've been.
yeah, Evans, they repair.
Xeno,
Zeno, yeah.
unless I'm dying from cancer again.
Hey,
I
that
already
was gonna be
sold
pretty
you
rough.
mine.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So just so we can get this squad all back together again, and I know Diamond is listening, and because he's on a less great connection. So I do appreciate it. But you chime in when you feel like you need to chime in, buddy. Um. So yeah. So you guys travel out to the Mort Central Starport, and it's a bustling and secure facility. You guys have been here before. You can see that there's an active activity with both military and civilian fleets. You guys have to pass through multiple layers of security with dark finders, DAC handlers. Does anybody? No. Okay. Right now, does anybody have shatter on them?
Nope.
Nope.
Anybody got shatter at all?
Nope.
Negatory.
Does anybody have any
No.
bomb materials to include grenades?
Are grenades not allowed when on a ship?
Well, well, if you checked up with more laws before you went, you might know, but I don't think you did. I will tell you,
Fuck.
you're an operative. You have a legitimate reason to have these kinds of things, but you are going into a secure facility.
Okay.
So,
All
do you
right.
have grenades on you?
Since we're leaving, I would assume, God damn it, Damocles would bring, yeah, one
Do
smoke grenade, 2 concussion grenades, and 2 fragmentation
do you
grenades.
have any non-slay issue explosives?
No,
Any
I only have
homemade
slight.
explosives? Any Dark Knight salvage explosives? Backpack bombs? Shotgun mines? Anything like that? You got nothing like that?
Nope, all slay issued.
Because when those Dark Finders run that DAC hound up on you, and then they just start searching everything you got, they don't ask permission.
Yep, I let them do what they do.
Yeah. I mean, they tear through everybody regardless of SCL. You know, it doesn't matter. Darkfinders are Darkfinders. But they generally leave you alone. I mean, they notice it's Slay issue stuff. You don't have anything overt or extraordinary. I know. I will say I think Sputnik has a flamethrower, but it's not anything he couldn't have. Also, his SCL is quite improved. So
I will be
neener
entirely
neener.
fair and say I am carrying a hockey stick.
A carrying hockey stick.
Wait.
Yeah, they don't
Of
care.
all,
That's literally a stick to them. Um, it's a walking
Didn't
stick.
figure.
It's a toothpick.
I will be leaving the Machine Head. Sadly,
Yeah,
he'll be
that
staying
would
at
be something
home.
that we'd have some questions about. Does anybody have any Dark Knight gear? Any Deathaxe? I mean, any kind of Dark Knight gear, even a pistol, off-brand.
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, does the
I
tusk
am willing
count?
to, huh?
Does the tusk count?
The Tusker, no,
The
Tusker's
pistol.
the Tusker pistol and the Spur are they're completely legal. Those are allowed weapons commonly used by Shacktars. How many people have ion weapons, by the way?
Me.
You do. I'm seeing Brenna's name light up, but
No, I don't have an ion weapon.
does anybody
I
else have
don't.
ion? Okay, that's traveling through the port at this moment. Okay. Um. So here's the deal. You guys get to the port. You have an arranged dock that you're supposed to meet at. Um, and you guys are kind of expecting there's going to be this grand ship there to take you on your excursion. The Dark Horizon is what you're supposed to be there for. And what you see is on the pad for what probably should be a large interstellar ship is you see a shuttle about the size of a Halo Pelican. Um, and honestly, it's scuffed as shit. Like it it looks like third class travel.
I don't want to get on it.
Yeah,
Too bad.
it looks about as safe as well as any good cannibal sector dune buggy. I mean, I hate to say it. You guys, does anybody have pilot?
I do.
Roll it. Difficulty 10.
Two success.
Uh, to be honest, it's this is this is no standard make of a atmospheric shuttle. It is absolutely not interstellar worthy at all. And it does appear to have parts from a killcopter on it. I mean, obviously someone's retrofit some stuff, and but you are fairly certain it's at least space worthy for atmospheric travel. Um, and you guys get up there, and there's this kind of grease monkey looking guy, um, really young, like maybe early 20s. He's got a bandana on his head. He does have what looks like kind of a flight jacket on it, but he's got a greasy shirt on underneath, and you can see he's got a bunch of tattoos. Anybody got Streetwise that we want to roll difficulty 7?
Sure.
I'll
I'll
roll it.
roll it.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Pass with a degree.
Okay.
Pass with 3 degrees.
Anybody that at least gets 1 degree, and the 3 degrees I'll give you extra information.
What's the difficulty?
7.
Failed, not
Yeah,
botch.
yeah, I've got I've got a degree.
Okay. Those of you who see this guy's got gang tattoos on him. Like Mort gang
Gang, gang.
tattoos. Cody, you recognize he's crosstown. Like straight up crosstown. And
Okay.
like he says he kind of pulls a little card out of his glove, and as you guys are kind of walking up, he says, "Deathaxe, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready to go when you're ready. You got everything?"
Do you have everything?
He to be
Oh,
honest, this guy looks like he probably spends a little bit too much time on his hair. He says, "Yeah, yeah, no, she's ship shape. We just gotta, you know, get out of here and meet up with the captain."
Meet
So
up with the who?
He
the
he
captain.
hey, do you guys have any luggage? He starts like if y'all have like luggage, he starts to stow it on the ship for you. Like I said,
Literally just
it's
So
about
is
double the size of it's about 4 times the size of passenger vans, like the big passenger vans. Like just to
so
let you
I'm
guys know.
confused. Is this guy not the pilot or not?
No, he's not the
nope,
pilot.
Oh
nope.
fuck! I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't look like your pilot. He looks like he might be a pilot.
This thing is going to be able to make the jump.
Jump. He looks up at you. Nah, no, man. We gotta go meet up with the Dark Horizons.
Oh
Then what
shit!
are
I thought
you?
this was the Dark
Uh,
Horizon. This
oh,
is
okay. I get it. This is the thing leading us to the ship. It's in space.
Yeah, he
All
says
right.
it's 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 not really an atmospheric kind of ship. You know what I mean? He says with kind of a smile, and he says, but look, we got some comfortable seating. He kind of pats on a bucket seat that he folds down for one of you guys, and he says, we just strap your gear here so it doesn't bounce around too much. He says, we'll get you where you need to be.
I'm gonna look at Animus and be like, "Can you reality fold to the ship?"
Oh, come
probably
on,
a
Rooney. It'll be
little.
okay. She'll say, like, patting him on the back and then heading onto the ship.
It's
You
just gonna
can
be a
see the
quick
inside of the
ride,
ship.
and I'm gonna take the bucket seat.
Yeah. So anyways, like as you guys get ready, he goes over and straps into the pilot seat. There is a co-pilot seat for anybody who's interested in sitting up front. Um,
Sure.
Oh, Seller's
there
definitely
good
going to jump
idea.
in that.
there's a large amount of knickknacks and just garbage all over the dash of this ship. To
Hey,
include at least one bobblehead.
don't call his Warhammer models garbage and junk and
Seller's
knickknacks.
Seller's going to sit in the uh, co-pilot seat and totally mess with all of his
Now,
stuff.
now I'm gonna ask, do you have the piloting skill?
No.
Okay, so you couldn't assist him as a co-pilot. I was just kind of curious.
No.
All right.
She
Okay, well,
constructed
Drew
him as a
does have
co-pilot.
the co-pilot skill, so I would feel a lot better if he was sitting out there. No offense, because I have a feeling this guy's gonna get shot.
I honestly just kind of imagine I was moving towards it before the cat jumps in and starts fiddling with knobs and shit.
Yeah, it seems safer anyways.
If Animus speaks up and is like, well, I think I should, she'll go, okay, and she'll grab one of the toys and like walk off to the side and just continue to fiddle with it.
He
Yeah. If whenever you said you start just fiddling with shit, and I like look at it and you
no
know what you're
Drew.
doing?
I will say, as you sit down, Drew, you can see this guy you rolled what 2 successes on pilot earlier.
Yeah.
He's absolutely not a professional pilot. Um, he has got like the like the very basics of training. He's hitting the buttons he should be hitting, but not in the perfect order that would make you happier and show you a life of professionalism. But I mean, at least observing what he's doing, he's not going to get you all killed. That being said, the console is within reach for you. Just in case you decide to start grabbing things.
I
He said,
will
and he smiles at
respect the man's
he's
ride for right now.
yeah yeah. You don't like turn on the radio or anything.
No.
Matter of fact, he turns on the radio and he puts that song on earlier that I had playing. It's that "Separate Ways" by Journey. he turns that song on, and it just happens to be a popular song on the radio at the moment, or actually it's well out of date. And he turns it up a little loud, so it's kind of hard for you guys to talk in the back.
I am fucking getting down.
It's a
yeah.
good song.
You
Oh,
got the touch. You
but
got
Drew,
power.
and he kind of looks over at you and he says, "You're gonna love the Dark Horizon. She's a beautiful ship. She's kind of a loner, if you know what I mean." And you really don't understand what he means.
I'm sure it's a lovely vessel.
And he says, "There's not a lot of ships like it." And he gives you a wink, and then he abruptly takes off, without even announcing that he's leaving the spaceport.
Oh
To the
I'm just
god.
gonna
tower.
yell "fuck" the whole time.
Drew, you can hear. I'm assuming you put on the headset for the for the co-pilot. You can hear that the
Yeah.
tower is literally like telling him he's violated airspace by not announcing he's leaving, and he's like, cool, okay, I'll catch it next time.
Should we roll to see if any of us get vomits or something?
I mean, it is absolutely
Oh,
unpleasant.
shit.
It is. Matter of fact, you guys, I want you to roll cool checks. Difficulty 10.
Okay, well, I'll roll with
Shit.
this along with the force.
Fail.
All right.
Well.
If you don't pass your cool check, his flying makes you queasy.
What? Cool is what? 1?
DC 10, and it's just a D10 plus your cool bonus.
I pass.
Excellent.
Pass. Big
I
pass.
do not.
Yeah, if you don't roll well, you might even role play that you lose your cookies, because like he goes up at a really steep angle. I'm not saying that he's a terrible pilot, but he's way bad.
I rolled a 6 total.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm gonna say Damocles. You do end up losing your cookies. You're the one.
I'm the one. Damn it. All
You're
right,
the one that
who's
fucking asked for it, so.
fair enough? Yes.
That is pretty fair.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's fair. But at least
So
n-
this guy
go
goes
ahead.
ripping this thing out of the atmosphere. Which, by the way, I mean, not only is it terrifying taking off at the speeds he's taking off, and there's quite a lot of traffic at the spaceport in the first place, but the freaking driving rain of the surface of Mort, and the horrendous lightning storms that cover the planet, and I mean, you guys are just ripping through the clouds, and he can't even see, and he starts pointing down at the console to you, Drew, and he starts explaining. He says, "Yeah, so this shows you if there's any ships in the flight path, and there are ships on that."
I'm assuming it's binging the shit out of me.
Yeah. But you failed your cool check, so literally you're just hanging on. And Drew, I'm gonna say you find it difficult to resist grabbing the controls yourself since you failed the cool check. Now that's on you.
Right.
You tell me what you do.
I'm gonna make it worse. While this hunk of junk is hurtling, I'm gonna stick my head between the seats and screech the chorus of the song.
Yes.
No,
Stellar will definitely be going right along with you.
I would be playing Journey in the background, but I don't want to get copyright struck. So
it gets too close to anything, like any other ships, and yeah, I'll like grab the controls and yank it.
Drew, I
Otherwise,
want a pilot check with your -1 to all dice for your failed cool check.
Oh no.
I want to see if you kill everybody. Difficulty is 10.
That'll be a fun adventure.
No, 7.
hold on one
It's
second.
7. I want to see if he kills everybody.
All right. Okay, the party never made it off Mort. Okay.
Welcome to the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh boy.
See, Drew never
Sorry,
fucked with y'all in the Mercenaries game like this.
Had a visitor. What was the role you wanted?
I want a pilot at difficulty 7 with your -1 to all your dice from your cool check.
You just need 1 Sevenger to not kill everyone.
I passed with 2 degrees.
Okay, you
God.
fly much better than he does, despite the fact that you are sweating bullets. Okay? Drew, you take control of the ship right as you breach the clouds over Mort, which actually would reveal that y'all could see the sun before leaving atmosphere. Like seeing the sun on Mort while in atmosphere has got to be some kind of achievement, I think. Um, and since you've taken the controls, he starts just like backseat driving. He's like, "Fine, cool, man, whatever. I'm learning." And he's like, "You got to go that way." And he starts pointing at this point on the nav map. And Drew, you end up, I would say, driving a bit more stable than he does. I would assume, unless you're
That,
intentionally trying to make everyone else
unless
vomit.
I'm intentionally trying to kill. No, I am driving very stable.
Yeah, there is that point where you guys hit a 0G, and for the fact that you guys are all strapped down, like there, occasionally like there's a bobblehead that's floating through the the cockpit now.
Also, Damocles' cookies.
Yeah, by the way, Damocles' cookies are floating around in the back somewhere,
No,
and it's not
remember,
actually
guys, zero
cookies.
G's. Remember, guys, zero G's technically don't exist. Everything's just really, really, really slowly falling because it's all falling towards the sun.
It's true. It's true. So, but anyways, once you guys break Atmo, I mean, there's still a ton of large ships in the atmospheric travel, like around the planet of Mort. You guys can't really get a good view of the surface of the planet just because of the amount of cloud cover. Um, I will say Mort looks like one big green sick ball. It looks like the swamps of Valheim. Um, it's just, oh, the Mistlands. There you go. It looks kind of like the Mistlands. It's just, there's just, you, you know that it would probably be a really cool site if you could, but the planet's just, it's had that atmospheric cloud cover just as long as anybody knows. Um, maybe it would be really cool to be able to see the spires or the Great Black Pyramid of Mort City, or all the great big corporate buildings of Central, but no, everything's obscured. Yeah, yeah, denied. But anyways, y'all go ripping through the blackness. Like I said, and there's lots of ships in orbit. But space by its definition is big, and so like you're not unless you get really close, there's not a lot of perspective on how big some of this stuff actually is.
Hmm.
And then that's when after about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just ripping through space at in this shuttle, you guys start to see what is the dark horizon. And Drew,
Hmm.
um, I don't want another piloting check. I like you making piloting checks. Give me a difficulty 10 because it's a little weird. Anybody that has lore? Does anybody have conflict lore or anything like that?
Nope.
Does
Nope.
anybody does anybody want to make a difficulty 13 academics?
Take a
Anybody?
shot at it.
You're welcome
Two
to roll
degrees,
that.
by the way.
2 degrees on your pilot. Don't worry about the academic then,
Okay.
unless you just want to.
I'll make it anyway. Will
Okay.
it affect me if I fail it?
Mm, let's just go with what you got.
Okay.
Drew, um, when you start streaking up towards this ship called the Dark Horizon, the first thing you get is a small sense of panic because it's not a sleigh ship. It is not a sleigh ship at all. Um, you can tell by the design. You can tell by the markings. Um, let me. I'm gonna post like a kind of a, if it'll let me. Um,
I'm gonna give a guess,
it
but
kind of looks like I've posted it in chat. That's just a pencil drawing of what the ship looks like. And it's not absolutely massive. It's you think it's probably only a couple, like maybe 100 meters, maybe 150 meters long. Pretty big. Still a big ship. Um, but Drew, that is a Thresher ship.
Oh, fun.
It is a Thresher Corvette. Yeah,
I-
that is a conflict alien. Or that is a conflict ship.
Oh boy.
And now you maybe realize why they didn't want to land it in Starport. Maybe.
Yeah. I look over to what's his fuck and be like, who's piloting that ship?
This is Captain John. And
Where?
but Drew, I will say, because you roll so well on piloting, like the closer you get, you can see that the ship has obviously been through some pretty catastrophic damage, or I would say catastrophic retrofitting. You can see that about a third of the ship is not original.
Does it have any hull designations?
Oh yeah, it does say Dark Horizon in pretty slick paint across the side. But the ship is completely black. It's it is incredibly hard to make out against the blackness of space. But it does look like a. I mean, it doesn't look like a hunk of junk. It looks fairly well maintained on the outside, despite the retrofit. You do see like one of the engines doesn't match. I mean, it's that kind of
Not
thing.
Fun.
engines.
Um. So, but anyways, he kind of the other guy kind of starts tugging at the controls, but he says, I can put it in port if you don't mind."
I give him like this worried look.
So I've done this a couple times,
I relinquish controls.
and he zips it slowly over into what I would call the starboard. There's a starboard ship port or
Docking port.
docking port, yeah, for shuttles. Um, and yeah, I will say the ship, once y'all get inside, the outside looks a lot better than the inside. Um, you do notice that
Really?
like at least like half the panels inside the shuttle bay are inoperable. Like they're just dark. But you do see some of the panels are lit up, and anybody with computer would know that is not a SLA operating system running the ship. Um, and I will say the shuttle bay is absolutely clogged with junk.
Fun.
Oh boy.
Y'all get out. The first thing you guys see is there's two or three more of these KT looking guys, cross downer looking guys. They all have the gang tattoos. The other thing you guys see is a half naked Wraithen. Like she's in like a sequin dancing skirt, and she's just kind of sitting in there when the ship docks. But she walks away before you guys like really get a chance to talk to her, unless someone goes and chases her down.
Does do we see any, I guess, any Thresher insignia, like on any of the crew members or
No,
on any of the equipment? None. Okay.
nope. And honestly, I mean, these guys are all like they all have like pistols on their on their belts, but like these guys are all grease monkeys. They look like engineers, like crosstown spaceship engineers, which is just a weird concept. But whatever. You guys get out. You guys get out of the shuttle, and the crewman, shuttle pilot, he says, "Hey, I didn't even tell y'all what my name was. I'm Lowry." And he reaches out to shake Drew's hand, who helped him pilot the ship.
I shake his hand.
He says, "Y'all want me and the boys to like get your stuff to your rooms, or what do you want to do? Settle in?"
No, I think we're good. I don't think anyone brought anything they can't carry.
By the way, guys, if you do not speak Thessalonian, you cannot read some of the panels on the ships.
Well, I can't read.
Unfortunately.
Are any of them in?
I will say, like, there is one computer screen that's kind of dangling loose, like it's just held up there by clips, and it does have what would appear to be. If you have computer, you might be able to like go up and be nosy on some shit.
Computer.
If you're interested in that kind of shit, just being nosy. But
I
besides
like to
that,
be nosy.
he's another one of the crew members says we serve messes twice a day. There's morning and dinner, 8 and 8. Don't
What's
be
the
late.
difficulty for the computer check?
It's not locked down or anything. It'll just be difficulty 7.
I got 2 degrees.
Basically
I
all
got 3 degrees.
what you can see from here is that it's basically a loose interface that's been tied in, and it basically it has some settings where you could open the doors in the shuttle bay, like not knowing Thessalonian, and it's got some communications across the ship, as well as a basic floor plan of the ship. Like it's like the tourist version of a floor plan. Like it's not detailed in any real way. Um, and it's got some basic stuff where you can get like the basic serial ID of the ship. Like if they were legally in space, like broadcasting, and you got hailed and somebody asks you for your ship's information. There's like it's a ship ID and a passage number and all this other stuff. Um, but yeah, just some basics.
Alright.
But yeah, there is an intercom system you could access from this panel. Well, like I said, it is literally just kind of hanging loose. One of the guys comes over and he starts punching some buttons for you, and the radio cuts on. He's like, "That's how you turn on the radio."
Thank you.
He says, "We
What
got
what
some pretty good music on tap."
what song came on when you turned it on?
What's that other ship or
You got
what's
the
that other
touch.
song? It's
You
The
got the
Touch.
touch.
The Touch comes on by Stan Bush.
Yeah.
It is
You
just a
got the
bunch of
touch.
cheesy 80s music.
Does it play the Transformers video too?
It does not.
Oh.
But like it does play it pretty loud in the cargo bay. And honestly, okay, another thing you guys notice is the shuttle bay is not huge. I'm gonna just post I'm gonna swap the object in the back on the tabletop just to kind of show you just about the size of the interior of the ship that you guys have to just breeze around in. Give me just a moment. I think this will work out. The ship's pretty large.
Oh
Um,
damn!
you guys are in this right shuttle bay. The ship is where it is. Uh, I will say you guys do notice a number of dirt bikes in the shuttle bay.
Intriguing.
I will say there's two. There's two what look like fully functional dirt bikes. And that being said, you haven't cranked them up to run them. But there's nowhere to really roll them to go. But yeah, that's kind of your proportions on the ship. Other than the fact that this ship is more triangular and the exterior pick is more of a hammerhead kind of shape. But I will say the ship is a hammerhead shape. But this just happens to work for me. You guys are free to roam. You guys are free to do whatever you want to do. Brandon, make an attack check, DC 10.
You guys are free to roam, free to do what you want. Brenna, do this.
Everyone except Brenna, do this.
The rest of you can make a detect check based on the sight.
I can't.
The difficulty is going to be 13.
Oh,
Me too?
Brenda, you just make the other one if you don't mind. The DC 10.
The DC 10? Okay. Text That's +5. I have 2 degrees.
Okay. All right. I want to see if anybody makes the 13.
I got 2 degrees on the 13.
Anybody else?
Hold on.
No, not right now.
I
2
make
degrees.
success, no degrees.
Okay. Anybody who made at
Got
least 2 successes?
two. I got 2. Hell yeah.
Anybody who made at least 2 successes, you can see like there's a couple doors leading out of the shuttle bay. Someone just kind of look. You just saw like a head like kind of dip over and look in, uh, and then they like literally jumped out of the doorway. Like they saw you, and they seemed to be surprised, and then they just kind of like jump back reflexively, kind of like y'all spooked him or something. Brenna, you just detected abuse. Um,
All right.
by the way, those of you who made the 2 degrees of success, it was an ebon, female ebon. By the face, you could tell it was a waster in a death suit, and about 19 female.
Intriguing.
But like I said, there 1 minute, gone the next.
How, like, roughly how far away?
10 meters.
So wait a minute, wait. Well, you said they're 1 minute gone, the next, like disappear gone, or just like
Like they looked through the
turned and
doorway,
ran?
saw y'all, and then jumped back through the doorway, and you couldn't see them.
Okay.
And then Brenna, right after that, abuse.
Okay, so I didn't obviously detect that. I just, saw the person. So I'm just gonna run towards the door and scream, "Who dares?
You scream what?
Who dares?"
You see
Not menacingly.
no, you're good. You see that Wraith Raider who's like, I mean, look, Wraith Raiders aren't supposed to be like sexually charged, I would say, but I mean, cause they look like a fucking velociraptor with teeth and claws and like, but she's literally looking like a go-go dancer. Um, but anyways, she kind of looks back because it hasn't been just a couple seconds, and she's not like walking fast away from y'all. And like you say, what?
Who dares? I
Who dare?
think his voice. Yeah.
Yeah, she looks
Who
back.
dares?
She looks back, ignores you, and keeps walking. That other girl, you didn't see her. She's not there. But you can kind of see that there's like, you're looking out into like what looks like an open medical bay, and there's boxes piled up everywhere. The medical bay looks like it's a mess.
Oh.
Like there looks like there's some medical crates laying out. Some of them are just open with just like gauze and stuff just thrown all over the floor, like with no care. Like I said, it's not in a sealed room; it's in an open room. And there looks like there's cargo crates just piled up everywhere, just anywhere they could fit. Um,
I just
to
pushed.
be honest, it looks like there's spare parts and engine parts laying all over the place, and they're large, and some of them look damaged beyond repair. I mean, to be honest, it looks like this is some kind of hoarder's like hobo shack.
I'm gonna grumble to myself. Animus would hate this.
Yeah, I poked my head past Sputnik, then immediately like push him out of the way. No, that has to be refrigerated.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, Drew. There's absolutely some spoiled drugs laying out.
So she's like making her way down the hall.
Yeah. You can catch up to her. She's not running.
Yeah, I'm gonna like catch up to her and be like, "Aren't you cold, miss?"
You ask her if she's cold. She
Such a
she looks
gentleman.
at you and she says, "You know I'm a Wraithen, right?"
That was the joke. Yeah, that was the.
Clearly, she doesn't.
I
get
guess
it.
she kind of smiles at it and just she says, "You want to meet the captain?"
Sure.
Wow, that was quick.
Anyways,
It literally takes everything I have right now not to just be like, I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain.
Damn, that was
Anyways,
quick.
she leads you through several rooms. Like, there's a couple what would be called quote unquote security doors. And I hate to tell y'all guys, like if this ship got ever like the hull got breached and like it started venting atmosphere, it looks like a lot of these doors were let's just say opened
Not
with
gonna hold.
opened by the untraditional pick lock skill of a welding torch.
So like there's at least one just regular wooden door
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
having flapped
Yeah,
over something.
somebody has taken an airtight ship door and not replaced it, but it's been replaced with like yes, like a wooden or plastic or just a sheet metal door that somebody's just hung
A,
up for privacy.
a screen door.
But I
Like
will tell y'all, the interior of this ship is absolutely Thresher design. Like the majority of everything in this ship is Thresher. Um, Matter of fact, Sputnik, when you're walking with her, you pass by at least one door um, that it literally has a sign on the outside that says off limits, and she kind of pulls the door to as you're walking past, and you can see what it looks. I'll give you a peek of what's in there. It looks like there was a cube shaped computer in there and just a ton of screens. A ton of screens. And you could tell by at least what was on the screens. You may not be a computer expert, but it was absolutely in that other language, that Thessalonian language.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like that was some kind of IT area. Um, and there was just like cables hanging from the ceilings and the walls and stuff. It was absolutely like an IT person's nightmare. Um, or at least someone's sloppy's pet project. But anyways, she pulls that too, and you hear it click shut. And I mean, whatever. And she takes you up to the front of the ship, the cockpit. The first thing is you hear some really loud rock music, and the other thing is that there is so much smoke. It's not like something's on fire smoke. It's like cigar smoke. And you get up there, and the captain's in there, and he's just kind of like drumming on the console. And I don't know if you've seen this guy before, but he's kind of got this kind of blackish, unruly, unkempt hair. He's got a beard. He looks like he's in his 40s or his 50s. You can tell by the weird scar along his neck that it looks like he's either had his throat slit or he's been decapitated before, and you can and just from the way the skin on his body looks, he's had extensive karma work done. But you can also tell that his skin is all fucked up and messed up because of you're not really sure, but it looks like he's got some, I don't know, maybe he had skin cancer at some point. And anyways, he's got a big ass cigar sticking out of his mouth, and he's wearing a pretty gnawed up looking suit, a body blocker with a helmet sitting next to him. And he kind of spins around when you're in there, and he says, "Hey, Domino, what you got for me?" And he kind of oh yeah, and
Ah,
she says it's that Deathaxe people, and she kind of just sits back on the console. And the captain stands up and goes to shake your hands. Carrying squad leader, pretty cool. He says, "I'm Captain John McCormick."
of
How do
course.
you get around?
Huh?
I see.
That's
I've
how
had
do you get
one month.
around so much?
What'd you say, Drew?
How do you get around so much?
Are you there?
No, I'm not. That was out of character.
Okay.
I'm still frantically organizing the med bay because it's triggering me.
I'm
Okay.
just staying silent, shadowing, and I'll just nudge.
He,
I guess is Rooney still in the group, or is he doing his own thing?
I mean, I'm with everyone.
Okay, yeah, I guess I'll just nudge him towards the captain. I
yeah,
guess.
He's
the
with
captain
everyone
kind of like
minus
he
the
chews
group.
on his cigar and moves it on the side of his mouth, and he's kind of talking like his mouth's full. Like the guy just doesn't stop smoking while he's talking. And by the way, he does smell like hard liquor. and he just goes and reaches out kind of through everybody and just shakes everybody's hand, just pretty well intentioned, you think. But as far as like the cockpit, it is just decorated with just knickknacks and garbage, and most of the console is in Thessalonian, but some of it, a lot of the buttons and sticks and stuff have been changed out with what you would call like Mort specials. Like, it looks like somebody ripped this out of a killcopter.
Ugh.
So I've had one run-in with McCormick before.
Have you? Have you ever met the guy before?
Yes, upon extraction of our first excursion into Cannibal Sector.
It's the same guy.
Yes, and I'm gonna recognize him, and then eagerly shake his hand and be like, "Oh, McCormick, we've only met once, but you kind of saved our asses." I'm not the squad leader. My name's Sputnik. I'm just the heavy guns expert, and I'm a point to Rooney like this. This is the guy.
He says, "Man, I get all sorts of weird BPNs. I'm a decent pilot, you know." He says
Just
they
gonna
they just hire me for whatever. I get all these great little one-off missions that pay a lot. It is what it is. And he goes up and he eagerly shakes Rudy's hand, like a dog shaking water.
I'm going to clearly show that I'm not exactly happy about it.
He does have a sleigh badge on, and he is a 7.
I mean, I'm gonna be nice, but like,
You
I
don't
don't.
see any more badges on the rest of the crew, by the way. None of them. They're all just
Ooh.
people.
This is a cliche Sputnik thing at this point, but I think I finally found somebody who will appreciate it. I'm going to offer him a drink of my whiskey.
Oh yeah, no, he takes, he sniffs it, he downs it. He says, "That's pretty good." Is it your cheap
Perfect.
stuff? Is it your cheap stuff or the good stuff?
You know what? To hell with it. It's the good stuff. I don't have that bottle anymore, but oh well.
He looks and says, "Man, you got the highbrow stuff, huh?" It's all right. I like that stuff too.
So I just picked it off a guy
He
during the mission.
he goes over to his flight console, and he snatches up a bottle underneath some papers. He uncorks it and says, "Here, this is a little bit more my flavor." And he passed it to you. And that is the smell of him, by the way. He smells of that liquor.
That is amazing.
We have found the
He's-
source.
He's got you got to take the edge off when you're flying a little bit, and that is in character.
Explain the shuttle pilot.
Yeah, it looks like all the crew are gang members.
You said that he's walking around saying hello to everyone.
Yeah, he's shaking hands and hobnobbing.
When he gets to Cellar, she's gonna be like, "Hey, you said your name's John McCormick, right? I think I heard a friend talk about you before."
He says, "Yeah, I usually go by McCormick, just McCormick. That's what my friends call me." And he says, "Squad Easy Money, trademarked."
Trademarked.
He's being extra nice to Brenna's character. He must have
Hold
an acquired taste that looks at his go-go dancer Rathian.
Yeah. She is not the typical representative of the Wraithen. Go ahead, Drew.
Please tell me when he does the trademark. He does the whole like thumbs up to smile with the tooth twinkle thing.
Yeah, he totally does. He is a really cheesy individual. I would say that. Oh, wait. Brenna,
Yes.
you're the one that asked. He says, hold up, and he starts digging around. He says, "I heard you were coming." He pulls up a roll, like it's like a tube. It's a little plastic tube, and it's got lids on the end. He says, I was supposed to give you this."
Thanks. She'll take it.
You open it up, or are you gonna do it later?
She'll open it later.
Okay.
Man, he ain't known Brenna's character for 10 seconds, and he already flirting.
Hey, it's Diamond's character all over again.
But he says, guys, you settle in, make yourselves at home. He says, the cook kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It's edible. We haven't quite worked out everything yet. We're getting the ship shape, but she's a fine flyer. Don't look at the inside. She's golden, baby.
I was
If
like,
you
isn't
say
it?
so.
I'll take your word for it.
He he says, I'll give you the 10-penny tour, anybody that wants it. And if anybody that wants to walk with him, he'll go around about the ship, and some of the doors he seems to be pulling shut as he's like showing y'all things. Um, and you can hear the little locks click on them. I mean, you guys could go investigate. Literally, there's a he says, y'all want to stay out of this room right here. There's some dangerous electrical equipment that I haven't finished hooking up yet, and I don't want anybody to step on any kind of sensitive electronics. So don't, and um, you're not sure whether he's just lying, a bad liar, or whether he's just is maybe he's embarrassed about the mess in the room. But anyways, he's just kind of pulling doors shut, and he says, "Yeah, but let me take you back to the crew quarters." And he ends up showing you, and you know what? I don't even know where they are on this thing, but oh, there's cabins. Okay, so he takes you upstairs, and there's several passenger cabins for you guys. They're not they're they're much more spacious than they appear. Let's just say that. But I will say they are all clogged. They are all dirty. And if you guys go searching through it, you do find a lot of Thresher related materials. Like there's some books written in Thessalonian up there. There's at least a couple like survival knives that are like Thresher, um, as well as Thresher ammunition, um, books, notes, paperwork. I mean, all that kind of stuff. Hell, you even see what looks like there might even be some Thresher drugs just laying around. Like he's got a
Interesting.
lot of what would be considered illegal goods. Like just straight up.
I'm gonna kind of like ask him, be like, so, McCormick, how long till we're at destination?
He says, well, if you guys are ready to go, we'll get this show on the road. Um, he says, I already looked it up. It's probably should take us at least 72 hours to get there, barring any problems.
Well, let's go ahead and get moving.
He does say there is one pit stop on the way, but it shouldn't slow us down. But so yeah, I will say that. So what do y'all end up going and doing? I'll say like he fit. Oh, he shows you the other shuttle bay. Um, and true to the picture in here, there is an APC that is busted up like chewed bubblegum in the other car shuttle bay, and there's a civilian Jeep. Um, as well as just a whole rack of car parts. It looks like there's like a car shop in there. Like if you wanted to strip a car down, you could do it pretty easily.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. Um, Other than that, like I will say, like just pretty much any surface you want to sit on, lay down on, set a plate of food on to like just hang out and chill out. There's paperwork, there's nuts, there's bolts, there's like like little electric motors and just gizmos, and it's kind of a mechanic's dream in here. Like if you're just a nosy ass mechanic. Um, and you guys count. There's probably a total of about 7 crew members on this entire ship, and
Only 7?
yeah, that includes the five cross towner engineer kind of guys. So it's pretty much McCormick, the 5 dudes, and the Wraith Raider. Um,
About the potential ebb.
uh, unless somebody says I go out looking for her, y'all don't see her again.
Okay. I personally am going to go to the cabin that I'm claiming.
Hmm
and I'm going to look at the bed with utter disgust and take my coat off, and then I'm going to lay on my coat on the bed.
Okay. I will say, like, there's oh my goodness, you end up finding there's something hard under the pillow. In like, if you just kind of like push to move it, whatever it is, to make it more comfortable, it's a nudie mag.
I'm gonna tuck it away
Okay,
for
keep it for
personal
later.
keeping.
Got it.
It's a
Is it
girly
of
mag.
Rathian? Is it of Rathians by chance?
Oh God, that makes
You
some
know,
sense.
I wouldn't put it far beyond it.
Still gonna
McCormick has
tuck it away.
he's got a select taste. He knows what he likes.
Now,
Can't blame a man for knowing his tastes.
Cody, for the fact that that thing was described as hard, I wouldn't touch it.
yeah, yeah, I did specify it was a hard magazine.
Oh God.
Tasty.
Oh,
When the
why?
time is there.
It is what it is, man. But yeah, there's a so Rooney is just trying to, I guess, sleep the bumpy ride away. What is everybody else doing? I know Drew. Drew, are you organizing the medical area?
Yes, I've stowing everything. Got a big sign or a piece of paper with "Do not use, will kill somebody," with a pile of expired meds backed by it.
Drew,
Hmm.
give me a detect roll, difficulty 7.
3 degrees.
Yeah. In the back of one of the cabinets, there is a not small assortment of Dark Knight medication. There is no shatter, but if you wanted to score some Dark Knight meds, or this stuff's absolutely illegal. It's not stuff that would get you like. It would definitely get your SCL busted down if you got caught with it, but like shatter, you get executed. But
Yeah.
it's not shatter.
Hmm.
But I would say it does have actual practical medical applications. It's just, it's just kind of a random assortment of, knockoff Dark Knight soft company drugs that are more than soft drugs.
Let's see. Is this that? What is it called? No, Trapper's Dark Knight 2, isn't it?
Yeah, Trapper is. Yeah, there's no shatter or shatter equivalent,
Okay.
but there's there's the Dark Knight Kickstart equivalent, basically in there.
Kickstart. Useless.
Yeah, all that crap.
I make mental note and continue filing.
By the way,
I,
there is a fair amount of Alice in there, and Alice is a fairly common hallucinogen. It's
Mhm.
it's technically illegal, but it's also a soft drug.
Yeah.
Um, it is what we would call a recreational fun drug.
Hmm.
Oh, and
Again,
there's actually a fair amount of slush or flesh in there.
that makes sense.
Yep, it sure does.
Oh.
The more you know.
I make a note of everything I find as I'm sorting, but I leave it in place for now.
Okay.
Hmm.
Say it's not normally customary to loot every ship you go into, but you're welcome to. Um,
Damocles is gonna go scouting a bit. Oops. Sorry to interrupt.
no, you go ahead. This is y'all's playpen.
Yeah, so like before going into his room while still carrying his shit, Damocles is just gonna go walk around the ship into the areas he's allowed in, see if he'll notice anything that he has picked up on that these guys are members of Thresher, or is there
Um,
anything else I should
I mean,
figure out to find out?
are you going into any areas that might be other crewmen's quarters, or any locked doors? Are you making any efforts to go in areas that were shut? Basically, no, I'm not going to say they're locked. I'm just saying that they either have a sign, or like one says captain's quarters. I mean, feasibly you could go in there if you really wanted to. Um, but
No, just the rooms I'm allowed in. See if I can pick up anything they missed.
um, uh, to be honest, They're make a detect check.
Okay. Yeah, like if I need to stealth, I'll be willing to do a stealth.
Oh,
And be a
if
stealthy
you're being
boy.
stealthy, that's what I want to know. Give me your stealth check too.
Okay.
Detect and
Okay.
stealth.
All right. Well.
Side random bar, real quick, James.
Sidebar.
Do you have anything major planned for while we're on the ship?
A little bit, but are you needing to cut out?
Yeah.
Go ahead and cut out, and we'll go over about another 30 minutes, and we'll cut it off.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I'm fading. I'm fading right now.
Okay.
So.
Damn it.
We'll let some people play around. Honestly, let them dick around on the ship for a little bit, and then we'll call it. Cause
yeah, I figured it wasn't gonna be anything like death-defying. That's why I was like, I'll just ask real quick. So.
I mean, there is some stuff that'll happen, but we won't go much further than the ship. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Later.
Later, code. Well, looks like Rooney's retiring.
Retiring, Mr. Slurps, you're welcome to be here if you want to be.
Yeah, sure. You can call my character. I
Nope,
guess.
you're here. You're just here.
I'm
You're
just here.
you're
Hi,
here.
everyone, I'm here. Hello. Jonathan has arrived with my Jonathan powers.
Yes.
That's an amazing power right there.
Just Jonathan removes his attire. He was part of the crew all along.
He falls out.
I've been
He falls out of the
moonlighting as
shuttle. He's like, "Oh, damn, that was a tight fit."
Oh yeah, guys. I've been in this closet for ages.
No, he's passed out in the back. He failed his cool check.
So just to say,
sliding
we
up.
have Mr. Slurps playing Jonathan, the what was it? The human? You were human.
I am a human bureaucrat.
Human bureaucrat.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the target number for stealth, by the way?
We're gonna say 7.
7.
Yeah.
Pass by. Oh, I said on the check real quick. I think I can't fail stealth. Yeah, I passed by 4 degrees.
Okay, you got 4 degrees. I'm gonna give you this. Did you get what you do on your detect?
Funny thing.
You failed it?
I botched it. Yeah.
So you're super stealthy, but you don't see anything. You know, I'm gonna ignore part of it, but I'm also going to. I'm gonna give you the best of both and the worst of both. How about that?
Okay, yeah. I was just thinking I remain undetected, but I don't know where I'm going. I feel like is a good twist on it, but you do what you do. You're the game master.
So. Yeah. So you end up kind of just going about the ship, just looking at, just examining, just looking at stuff. At some point you're wandering and you look at the APC in the cargo bay, and you can see that it's a blue painted shiver APC, like it's an old style battle taxi. But you can see what's weird about it is when you walk around it. Number one, it looks like it's been repaired a lot, but it looks like it's been cared for pristinely. But there's one spot on the APC that's never been repainted. It looks like the back right quarter panel, and there's just this huge list of names on there. And just from the kinds of names you see, it looks like they're probably operative names, and a lot of them are crossed out. But
any names
that doesn't
I
make.
recognize?
I would say no. Just none of them would stand out to you particularly. You don't know why they're crossed out. Matter of fact, you even see a name on there a couple times that's been crossed out more than once. Like it repeats. One of them is Silence. Matter of fact, one of the names is Silence, and it's crossed out.
What's the name that's crossed out multiple times?
You see another one that says Prophet, and it has it's crossed out.
Oh.
Hey, some of us have met Prophet.
You're right.
But
you're not. You can't really put that together, and you're kind of looking at that. So you're being stealthy. And you do kind of, and you also botch something as well. But you're in there, and you notice that Wraith Raider girl.
Yeah.
She looks like she's kind of like stealthing around, snooping on you guys. Like you just kind of see like you went somewhere and it's like she kind of followed you, and then you went stealthy, like super stealthy, and she's like creeping on you.
So
Um,
she,
she doesn't have
so
any
she,
weapons. She's just spying on you.
mm,
But
is a,
she doesn't seem to see you. But she's not particularly bad at it. She's just spying,
mm,
and you are
I
kind of
would,
wandering the ship. But
I would like to approach her if it's possible.
okay, about the time you get right up on her, um, something bumps you in the side of your chin,
Mm,
and you
Oh,
notice it's a long wooden stick, and it's sharp and it's got thorns on it.
oh,
There's a girl
okay.
standing next to you. It's that 19-year-old looking girl. Uh, she's an ebon in a death suit, and she's a waster. And she just kind of pops up like you guess you just weren't paying attention, right as you're kind of gonna confront this other girl,
All right,
the
I get.
Wraithen. And she says, "What are you doing?"
mm, I was going to ask her a couple questions about that ABC.
I'm gonna say that you've seen this kind of stick that she's got before.
Mm-hmm.
When you were in Cannibal Sector and you were fighting the Momics and the Ashen, she's got one of those Ashen wooden staffs, one of the Magarot wood staffs that shoots the flamethrower, and she's literally jabbing you in the face with it.
Oh God. Oh God.
She
Does some
she's
PTSD.
she's she's 19, and like I said, she's got a pretty nice looking death suit on. She doesn't have a slave badge. And she just has no emotion in her face, and like I said, she's kind of creepy.
Oh God, like the girls from the twins from The Shining creepy?
Yeah, a
Or
little bit.
oh God, okay.
Again,
Fuck.
what are you doing?
I
And she's
was
got this weird slang in her voice, like she speaks Killian, but like the Ebons have a certain way of speaking, and she doesn't speak like them.
okay. Yeah, so Damocles is just gonna like just look at her and just gonna say, I was just gonna ask her if she knew the story behind that APC. I saw some names crossed onto it.
She says, "You fuck with my people, we'll have problems."
Hey, listen, you guys are a ride. I ain't planning on fucking with nobody. You can just space us out.
And the Wraith Raiders noticed you by this point, and she says, "Era, it's okay." And the Ebon girl, she kind of pulls the thorny stick out of your cheek. Not that it cuts you or anything, because you do have an armored hide. But like I said, you've seen these sticks flare, and this is absolutely a conflict species weapon that she should not have.
Yeah, like, and I know what it does. It's basically the equivalent of Sputnik's flamethrower
Yeah,
in my face point blank.
yeah. I mean, you're definitely not gonna dodge anything. But anyways, she kind of pulls it back and just kind of walks away from you, and she like just eyeballs you. I mean, just in she just has odd mannerisms. Like she doesn't act like people. And he says she kind of does this like I'm watching you like hand signal, and then just kind of like walks away and just kind of sits in the corner of the room.
Mm,
And anyways, Domino says, "Don't mind her. Matter of fact, just don't even mention her. That'd be best."
ye- uh,
What are you doing?
I was just looking around, at least at the areas. Hey, what's the story behind the APC? I saw some names.
That's McCormick's dead squad members.
Oh,
There's a
yeah,
lot of
he
names
was.
on the side of that APC.
Mm,
Some of them aren't crossed out though.
yeah, I saw. I read through all of them. You,
She says
Damocles will.
he's sentimental.
Mm, I know the feeling to that. As Damocles would like, he'll fidget with something in his hands. If the Wayfarer will look, he'll see like it's a SLA tag, I guess, or an operative. Yeah.
She says, I'm not an op, but I kind of get it.
Yeah.
She says, just make yourself at home, and if you have any questions, just ask. Just don't open any doors you're not supposed to open, okay?
Yeah, and word of advice, that person you mentioned, not going to say any names, make sure she hides that stick. It'll cause a scene.
She doesn't exist.
Exactly.
She kind of nods at you. Like, you kind of understand what she's saying, subtly.
Yep.
And,
So we still have free roam, right?
Yeah, y'all are free roam. Do what you want.
Yeah, but
Okay, cool.
Y'all can walk in on this whole conversation if you want to.
I was going to say, so as she says that she doesn't exist, I'm going to walk around the corner and point and say, who's that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you walk up in the room and like I said, literally you see that Eben girl from earlier, and like so she's just sitting in a quiet, dark corner. She's still got the ashen staff with her. And you point out and like make the big announcement, and she just kind of looks away from you, and then but looks kind of irritated at you, and the Wraith Raider girl, she says, "Are you hungry?"
I could go for some food. Hey, Spudnik, what do you like to eat?
So there's a problem here. Not in character. Sputnik would definitely recognize that because not once has he been out there and fought those things, but twice.
Oh, for sure. But most of the
Yeah.
things using those sticks are usually wearing the Magarot armor, and they have the third eye. She doesn't have any of that stuff. But yeah.
I was about to say there's definite confusion going on in Sputnik's mind because he associates those things with monsters.
Yeah.
And it's not a monster holding that stick.
Yeah, it's an Eben. Waster.
So I'm going to let's see. Like not in character, not to pry or offend anybody, but doesn't that hurt you?
Make a persuasion roll to see if she actually talks to you.
Okay.
Say difficulty 7. It's not super hard. I just want to see if she ignores you or not.
Let me find what I did with my dice. Hang on.
Let me roll a dice for you.
No, I got them. I brought my own just in case.
I guess not everything should involve a die roll, but I don't want everything to. I like to leave things to chance.
Oh, what's the DC?
7.
Nice. I passed with 2. 2, just 2.
She hops down and kind of slowly walks over to you in the creepiest way possible, like just not saying anything, and she kind of just holds it out sideways for you. She says, "If you don't grab the thorns, it won't hurt you." And you're not an Eben anyways.
No, I'm not an Evan, but I've dealt with plenty of others who have used these before. And every time I've ever seen them get handled, it looks like it's a bit of a shock. So I was just curious.
She says, "I've handled a few of them too."
You kind of look like it a little bit. Again, no offense, but you look like you've seen some shit.
She gives you this kind of Wednesday Addams vibe, honestly.
Yeah, you kind of got a bit of a stare. You okay?
She just kind of looks at you like a little quizzically about that, and she says, maybe y'all should go get some food."
I was just checking on you, and I was also just curious about the stick. I'll leave you be.
She just kind of
I didn't mean it.
weirdly stands there as y'all walk away. You know, that just awkward looking. Lack of social skills, maybe.
I'll just. Yeah. I'm gonna put my arm around Spudnik's shoulder and says, "All right, Spudnik, she's creepy as fuck. Okay, let's go see what they have to eat, eh?"
Yeah, y'all. y'all go raid the kitchen, and the Wraith Raider Domino goes with you. Um, and yeah, she shows you there's like a huge cabinet stuff with just the cheap ass coffee, and like and then there's a whole bunch of Dave beer, like a whole bunch of Dave beer, and then there's just like a whole bunch of sandwich stuff and MREs. Like it's just a whole bunch of MREs.
Okay.
I'll ever take a shit on this thing?
Yeah, it's the plumbing's not going to be great.
I wish to
Yeah,
make a
both
sandwich.
ways, the plumbing and their intestines. Oh my god.
There
All
is
they eat
no
is the
fresh
bone.
food on the ship, just to say that. There's nothing fresh.
Just gonna make an
gonna-
MRE sandwich.
I'm gonna excuse myself and be like, I'm gonna go see if I can find Animus and see if maybe he wants something. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell him about the sandwich, especially. Okay.
I will say Domino seems to be entertaining you, and she tells you she's an exotic dancer, or at least she used to be.
Gee,
Yeah.
Willikers.
Fun with that. I'll be back.
Yeah. I'll humor her and go. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brenna.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead. Y'all are still doing your scenes.
Okay. Yeah. Just like while Diamond is obviously gonna go tattle to Animus.
I'm curious about the tattling.
Yeah. I'll entertain. Her name was Domino, right?
Yep.
To like her stories, like to like a better mind. Of course, nothing too nitty gritty about the details. Just maybe that one time with the cannibal that can only say candy.
You know, she tells you, I that's gross. I mean, honestly, like she says, she starts asking you about like pop culture shit and like music you like. It's basically anything but your job. Like
Damn,
literally
Damocles-
anything but like anything. Ask you about anything but monsters and killing things.
Damn. Damocles is a guy who went to the strip club to get a coffee and talk to one of the dancers, and it ended up working.
You know what? I'll even tell you what. You don't even have to roll. But like at some point she starts trying to show you this dance that she knows.
Okay, yeah, I'll.
Simp detected.
God damn it.
Yeah, she's gonna get you on full simp before the end of the evening.
Oh God. Well, okay. Well, since Damocles, I feel like as he wouldn't like even know, but like
You're
I
only
was just
2
pure
years
curiosity. Oh God. Yeah, you're right. Shit. But and his brains are scrambled. Shit. All right. Well, he might experience something. Okay.
She
We'll just
starts
let the
showing you
scene fade out.
K-pop dances.
Oh God.
Yeah, wait for Damocles to ask Animus about why his pee-pee get hard.
So
Oh God.
so while Damocles is learning the K-pop, Sputnik goes and walks up on Animus, which is one of the scenes I'm curious about.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, what's going on? What's going on, Animus?
As you approach him, he seems to be finishing up with the med stuff and wiping his hands. Well, hopefully no one's going to die from this. He looks
Like,
over
yeah.
at the massive pile of do not use drugs.
Yeah, the second I saw that, I knew you were going to hate it.
It's horrible.
I'm like, Domino was currently entertaining Damocles in the mess hall, and I was coming by to see if you wanted to grab anything.
Sure. Wait,
Sweet.
do we want to go in there entertaining?
We can take our time, getting there. I'm sure. You happen to have look around the clutter of the room and be like, is there anything here to write down on so I can write an order down or something?
I pull out the stack. I go over there and pick up whatever piece of paper I use to write the do not use sign.
Mm-hmm.
Got this. And I pull a pen out of my bag.
Awesome. I'm gonna scribble hastily on the paper, like trying to be, not super oh my god, my tongue, enigmatic, so it's not understood, but like don't draw attention to it. That the Ebon girl that we saw earlier is in possession of one of the sticks that we saw that the Ashen were using. Just wanted to give you a heads up.
Damn,
Yeah.
3 months in the hole and he became a snitch.
Yeah,
You
stitches get stitches.
Damn.
you write that on the paper, and if you pass it to Animus, he sits there and reads it, and, like, just no show of emotion whatsoever, unless there's a show of abuse. I don't know if you can detect that he just immediately throws up a shield.
Okay. Brenna, you can
I'm
detect that.
somewhere. I was gonna say I'm somewhere on the ship going. My spidey sense is tingling.
Brenna's got all sorts of spidey sense. Go ahead. I'll say you
Brenna's
get it,
ears.
Brenna. We don't have to roll it.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, did you guys leave Brenna alone with McCormick?
I think so.
Yeah,
The
Which I
guy
think
had a
was probably
thing
the
for
intention, anyways.
Entertaining.
Yeah, she's getting some much needed and easy information, I guess. Man's is a simp.
Look, I'm sorry. After having bad experiences, anytime I saw one of those sticks, I don't trust it. So
You should.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to one of the people who's been there with me through both situations, but hey, and let you know.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know if there's an outward show of him using that power, but he just like flares a shield around him,
hmm
and
And so, what do you want on your sandwich?
he starts looking around nervously. Is she here?
I don't think they have that there, but you never can tell.
Right.
You want a large pizza with pepperoni?
Let's go see what they have for the sandwich around
This
other
episode's gonna be
people.
called Simpson Space.
Y'all end up going into the kitchen, and y'all can see that like Damocles and Domino are dancing rather closely.
Oh boy.
She is showing him the latest in booty dances.
Twerking.
He gonna learn how to
Damocles,
twerk and hit the gritty.
Damocles learns a new rank in twerking. What skill is that?
Performance.
It is what it is. Now look,
Hold on.
I'm gonna pause y'all real quick. Brenda, what are you doing?
So if everybody just kind of leaves,
Mm-hmm.
and she's still in there with McCormick, she's gonna be like, "Hey, so other than this, the tube he gave her, anything else you got for me?"
He says, looks kind of, he's like he's thinking about it. Um, he says, I'm gonna need some help.
All right, what you need?
Look, the place we're going, it's not good. It's not great.
Kind of used to that.
We're gonna be picking up some pirate salvage in a little bit, and we're gonna have to use it to barter, so we can do what we need to do.
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to keep your people under control,
Okay.
because it's not gonna be something that the company would like so much. They just kind of let me do my thing, you know.
They tend to do that, if it works to their advantage.
Yeah. So he spins around in his chair, and he pours a little shot of that rot gut, and he offers it to you, and he drinks one as well, regardless of whether you take it.
She'll take it and drink it.
Okay. He says, and I trust we're not gonna have any problems with my crew.
No.
Okay.
Any characters should be looked out for?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll spot her.
I'm pretty sure I already have.
Yeah,
What?
the
What's the
Evan
deal?
girl, she's off limits, like by all your people. Leave her alone.
All
Okay?
right. But we don't need. It's not someone we need to worry about, though.
No, not at all. I got a handle on her.
All right.
He says, but yeah, it looks like it's gonna be about 72 hours there. And I am so sorry, Dawson. Like, this has been going on so long. This part's kind of extended, and I'm sorry you were separated, but um, my bad.
I'm not. You don't have to apologize for being separated, but
I hope
damn,
you're
I
I
wish
hope
we
you're
could have
enjoying it. I
known.
will totally run something for you in a minute. Um,
I mean, I've just been doodling stuff that Krieg's doing while you guys have been going at it.
but Brenna,
I
he literally sets the course on the ship and like gets up and he like goes back and walks to the mess hall with you.
Okay.
He's
see.
and he does kind of talk to you on the way here. He says like, look, there's a lot of equipment on this ship.
You got
It's
pretty
not
eyes.
strictly legal, but like I said, the company lets me keep it. At least they
As
hadn't
far
said
as I'm
anything about it.
as far as I'm concerned, I don't see any of it.
I appreciate that because when we get to that star base and they see all this, we're gonna take all of our badges off. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because they're not gonna like the ops there or representatives from the company.
So we need to take ours off as well.
I mean, I would.
Okay.
I just wanted to get out. I just wanted to get out of Mort's orbit first.
Gotcha.
But yeah, y'all walk back to the mess hall. About that time, like McCormick gives Damocles this like "fuck you" look.
McCormick does it?
Like not like "fuck you," he wants to have sex with you. Like "fuck you," he's
Ooh,
irritated with you.
you're seeing his girl, man.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
dancing with this girl.
oh. Well, he doesn't know that. He's just
This
vibing.
episode for real is called Simps in Space.
And
You just
So
want
is
everyone to
there,
know I'm not complicit in
real
that.
quick, is there any kind of like spray bottle anywhere nearby?
oh, for sure. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely
Okay,
near the sink.
Seller is totally going to take it and spray him, saying "down, boy."
God
Okay.
damn it.
And
Someone knocked on my door. I'll be right back. There's something I do want to say though before. God damn it.
when Brennan, while he's doing that, I want you to make an academics check really quick. Well, I'll say difficulty 10 just for you. Do you have academics?
I thought I did, but I don't see it. Maybe I didn't. Oh no, I did. Never mind. I do.
Give me a 10. See if you can make it.
Or oh wait, never mind. I didn't. Never
All
mind.
right. Okay,
I'll
I'm
make
back.
it a
I'm
10 either
sorry.
ways. I'm just gonna make it a 10 for
Okay.
you either ways.
So
I'm
anyway,
not on that one.
Damocles will get the social cues that everyone's saying to say fuck off, and Damocles will just go back and eat his MRE.
I did not.
You know, Brennan, I'm gonna give it to you just because I think it's funny.
Oh, okay.
So, like, from the other room, just kind of looking at y'all through like some doorways, you can see that Eben girl just kind of spying everybody in the mess hall. Like, you see her, and you know you've seen her before. This is the first time you've actually seen her, like on the ship. And like I said, she's kind of hanging back, but I just kind of wanted this to be funny. You recognize her. Like she's got. They've called her a couple different names since like the people that talk to her and around her, and she does not have the ashen staff on her at the moment. But but you recognize her. You recognize her from a hunter sheet.
Uh-huh.
She's a serial killer. Her name is Gutterfly.
Okay.
She's not exactly at the highest bounty you've ever seen, but and it's been a couple years since her hunter sheet was probably like new. But yeah, she's like a big time serial killer. Like big time.
Did she see me seeing her?
Oh yeah. She doesn't know if you recognize her or not, obviously. But yeah, like
Seller will just kind of give her like a little bit of like a 2-finger "what up" kind of salute,
yeah.
and then just go back. Like she won't actually say anything to her or draw attention to her. Just kind of "what up" and then just keep going.
Yeah, yeah. Gutterfly the serial killer. Apparently hanging out on McCormick's ship. Yeah. And but besides the weird awkwardness of that, you guys can just kind of hang out and hobnob. And McCormick gets himself a cup of coffee, and Mr. Slurps, you can chime in whenever you like.
I'm just kind of here, definitely not playing games on a device of any kind. That's not what I'm doing.
Okay, definitely not playing medieval Total War or anything. Yes.
No.
I got you. That's cool. But yeah, if anybody has anything they want to do or role play with, y'all just feel free to do your thing.
Well, I guess given the information that Damocles knew, he wanted to apologize to Captain McCormick, and he told him that he's not romantically interested. You just wanted to
He's
learn how to
playing around
dance.
with her.
Oh no! God damn it!
Wow. Wow. Damocles is one of those guys.
I'm
McCormick
gonna
is
walk
not
up.
McCormick is not a pretty man, but when you say that to him, that kind of awkward apology, he says, "No, we were on the Alien Sex Channel for a while." He says, "If you want to tumble, we can go for it."
I imagined he was drinking
He,
of some water, and he just goes, Not like that, not like that. I got a kid at home. I ain't gotta worry about that."
but yeah, I just want to say for anybody with a like Drew, medically McCormick is he's kind of interesting because it looks like like a lot of his body is karma replacement.
Mhm.
And he's obvious. You've got the medical. He has had a pretty bad KZ-14 infection, like that has apparently gone away, but it left permanent scars all over him.
Okay.
So
I will say it's probably interesting, but Animus is otherwise focused.
yeah, on your shield.
Yeah, he's nervously looking around and seems to be slightly regressing and talking to thin air at occasional intervals.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you hear, damn it, damn it, damn it, and you see Malay is just like walking through the corridor. She just frustrated about some shit, just walking away
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
in your head
Not
because no
good.
one else sees her.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking out loud. Like I'm talking to wherever she's at, having full-on conversations, no matter what she's saying back.
Hmm. But
Mainly about the fucking trees.
oh, but anyways, you guys, well, did y'all have anything else y'all wanted to cover tonight? It does seem like it's slowing down a bit, so I figure it's probably a good place to start wrapping up.
The only other thing I would say is if there's nobody else has anything, whenever she goes back to her room that
Hmm.
night, Seller's gonna look at what's in the tube that he gave her.
Okay, you take it out, and there's apparently a piece of cloth rolled up in there.
Okay.
You pull it out, and you notice
She's gonna pull out very cautiously.
it's a T-shirt, and it's got a big blue APC on it, and it's got the fullness of Squad Easy Money just plastered across the face of it. McCormick's like, you can see he's in the driver's seat of the APC. It is literally a band T-shirt for Easy Money, and it's signed by McCormick.
A band T-shirt.
Yeah, it's like a Squad T-shirt. Yeah,
Oh, I see.
he gave you a fan T-shirt.
She's just gonna shake her head and laugh.
Oh, that was good old McCormick. He has fans.
Oh boy.
I mean, he was on the Alien Sex Channel for a while, and he's not a pretty dude.
Probably an OnlyFans.
Yeah,
I think not being a pretty dude is probably a requirement for the Alien Sex Channel if you're a human. I mean,
yeah, probably that.
Oh god.
But yeah. Krieg, I'm gonna
Ooh,
get to you tonight. Um,
ooh.
like I said, uh, for the last couple days, like you've had to survive on this station. You've noticed there's pretty deplorable conditions for the what you would call the Xenos, because the the race that seems to be in charge of the station is something called the Novian cryptids, or the government's called the Risen. Um, but anyways, like there's plenty of aliens. Like there's a huge multitude of like other aliens on the station. Lots of them you've never even seen or encountered before. But the most populous alien on the station are these multi-armed like 90-pound looking, kind of like big dogs. You've heard them called the Krillic, but they're all wearing these collars, and you know that they're all slaves. Um,
Uh, she's gonna look.
they are wear torn clothing. A lot of them, like you can tell, Drew, don't they have like 6 arms or 2 legs and 4 arms or something?
Yeah, like 4 arms, 2 legs.
Some of them are missing arms, legs, fingers, hands. Like they're definitely not in any kind of good medical condition. And you can see basically, every morning, they're marshaled out of these kind of group bunks on the lower levels, and these arthropod, um, I don't know what we settled on, 12-legged arthropods about the size of a Malus Stormer, but much thinner. Um, wearing technological, kind of armor, not like power armor like y'all wear, but it is armor, and they have these kind of staff weapons, and they kind of herd these things that are much smaller than them throughout the station every morning, and
Oh,
you know
did,
that
did
there's,
you just describe a Jaffa?
yeah, kind of Jaffa like, I would say. But they kind of look like locusts in the face. They're these bug things. And they do speak, and you've heard them speak Killian, like kind of in a mechanical voice. You know that they have these translators on them, where they can speak with the local residents that happen to speak Killian, which is your language. But there's hundreds of these things on the station, like the acrylic, and they're basically herded out to these asteroids that are attached to the station, and they go out there mining all day. Um, Harsh conditions. Um, the station is full of, you know, a bunch of mercenaries and, like I said, traders of all shapes and sizes. Um, uh, it's dark. There's gambling, but the station is built for aliens much larger than you. Like so, it's not like the world is built for humans like it is on Mort. The world looks like it's built for these. They call themselves the cryptids. The Yeah, the species is called the cryptids.
Mhm. Is Krieg able to have that mentor I told you about, the one that helped her for while she was away,
Do you want them to be on the station?
just for till Deathaxe shows up, just to make sure she stays true to what she's vowed to do.
Okay. I will say that, like, given the nature of your new code of conduct that you've kind of adopted, um, seeing these acrylic, I mean, they are an intelligent species, and they're badly mistreated. Well, what you would call badly mistreated. I mean, they are kept in what's, chattel slavery. They are absolutely treated as property. But they're probably you don't know for sure, but they're probably as intelligent, at least as a human, maybe smarter. Um, but again, they're not in charge.
She's gonna stop before a little grouping of these slave things and just kind of stare at them.
Yeah, you can find some that have probably slipped away from the bunch for a little while, and, like, there's like children.
She's gonna stare at him. The visor on her helmet just kind of blocking her facial expression, but she's not enthusiastic about seeing what she sees.
Well, like I said, they're malnourished, maltreated. I mean, if you wanted to do a nicety for them, you could give them food or something, but you know, it's kind of
She
it's kind of on you.
she will. She'll see one particular small kid who just looks like they haven't eaten in a time period that they might die soon if they don't eat something, and she'll hand them her like her little MRE bar
Okay.
for them to eat.
Okay. Um. So I'm gonna give you a scenario. you see one of these Krillic that apparently has loosed its collar, and it's kind of running through a crowded hallway, a large hallway because these aliens are large, and most of the starbase is constructed of these corridors that go between these just this network of dozens and dozens of asteroids and all these large what I would call bays and large bays and large buildings where there's there's well there's all these commerce buildings and such set up. I mean, it's almost chaotic in the way it's set up. You do know there is a core to the station that is much more organized,
Hmm.
but you can see that this particular acrylic that's loosed itself is trying to open an air duct and get away. Do you assist,
Uh,
or do you just watch? You might be caught by the patrol that seems to be following it because these guys are tall and you can see them over the crowd. That being said, the acrylic is small and hard to see in the crowd.
she's gonna grip onto her rifle really, really hard, but she's not going to assist, knowing that helping them is probably worse, going to be worse on the whole outcome than assisting them.
Okay. Well, the having watched for just a moment, you do see the patrol comes in. Um, it does pull at the vent, and then it seems to give up. And unfortunately, that's when the two cryptids and the patrol arrive. Um, and the acrylic seems to run one way and then run the other. And before they reach down and capture it, one of the cryptids lowers one of the staff weapons and zaps it with a pale blue energy. And you just see it like leaves this horrible burn mark, and it goes all the way through the thing and just kills the thing dead.
Uh, she's going to mutter silently to herself, just gripping. Uh, if she was strong enough to dent her rifle, she probably would have with how hard she's gripping onto it.
By the way, after they kill it, they just leave it on the ground and walk away.
She's gonna walk over to the body and kneel down beside it for a second, uh, placing her hand on its head and muttering a soft prayer to it.
Okay. Well, it's a kindness at least. Um, I will say that at this point you could contact your squad. You could tell them whether to hurry up or slow down or what kind of conditions there are here. But there is one of the major features that you notice about this place is that there is a pretty exclusive gambling hall here. Um, and not all of the cryptids are soldiers, but it seems like an awful lot of them are. Um, it seems like the majority. This seems to be some kind of trading port, although from what you can tell, the cryptids do not treat alien races well, especially the Krillic.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a large mercenary company. You've run into them a couple times. They haven't really spoken to you yet. They have like a big black sun as their emblem on a white background.
Have I had my favor done yet before they arrived, or do I need to
Go ahead and tell me what
start
it
it?
was, because I'm trying to remind me.
The arm thing.
Yeah, you do have your armor generated.
Okay,
We'll
that's
we'll
good.
say you do have a bright shiny new
That's
Karma
fine.
knockoff arm.
And she still keeps bandaged up or sleeved up, so and right now gauntleted up, so it doesn't really change much.
Okay. Um, but yeah, I will say that you know the station gives you this really just weird vibe because I mean it feels kind of predatory here. I mean, you are the equivalent of a space warrior at this point, you know.
Yeah.
But you're an operative. At least you're an operative. And this place is pretty dangerous. Um, The only weird thing is there's this particular group of aliens that seems out of place entirely on this place, and they are these short, about 3 foot tall molluscoids. They look like an 8-armed starfish, and
Oh
and
no.
and a
No.
number
Sorrow.
Oh no.
a number of times they've come up and tried to like talk to you and just make like chit chat, like pleasant conversation with you.
She won't acknowledge them.
Okay, like I said, they are small, they are physically weak, um, but apparently they're very fucking talkative, and there's a lot of them.
I will say that one thing Krieg will start doing after going through the issue of seeing what happened to the one little slave thing.
Hmm.
Hold on, I gotta find the name of it so I pronounce it correctly.
And yeah, Drew, describe acrylic really quick in your own
Yeah.
words.
In my own words, they're probably 2 to 3 foot at the top of the head. Like you said, 4 arms with grasping appendages on the end, and a back set of legs ending in paws. They come in various shades of blues and purples.
And Craig, so
Few,
what I will
few
mention
dark.
is as Drew has described what the acrylic look like, you see in one of the shops where they're cooking them, they're selling them as food items.
Payback things.
Do have multiple ears too.
Yeah, yeah, they
Uh,
sell them in various serving sizes.
but after seeing what happened to that one little slave thing, she will adjust her cloak over the side of her right shoulder pad, and though it could mean a lot of things to people who know what it truly means,
Hmm.
but from what I can tell, there's a wide case of species who know what the symbol stands for. It's the mark of the Shahun. The it's a basically a bounty hunter's mark.
Hmm.
And
But
she makes sure that anything that is in the station can see it now, in case they want to keep acting the way they act.
okay, um, I'm gonna go ahead
Oh
and just
no.
kind of close your scene here, I guess, and say like, was there anything else y'all wanted to do on the Dark Horizon?
Uh, I guess for Damocles, this could be for next session. He wanted to talk up the captain about like the APC and his stories, but that could be for later session,
Oh,
honestly.
you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all one thing because I'm gonna kind of close. I want to kind of close on this note here. Uh, y'all spent about the first 24 hours in transit. Like I said, it was gonna be about 3 days. Um, and if I got my math right. But at some point, you guys realize that McCormick bounces between the piloting chair and occasionally even Domino, the Wraithen, like goes in there and just kind of monitors the stick. I mean, and at some point, who would be up really late? Not like I'm talking about like before, like way past the witching hours.
Me.
Uh,
Probably,
Damocles.
probably Animus still too
y-
nervous.
y'all get in there and McCormick, like, he drinks a lot at night. Like, despite the fact that he's just always like back and forth on the stick and checking y'all's course and things. Um, he keeps popping back into the mess hall, which just seems to be kind of the group area where people hang out. And at some point, he and the Wraith Raider are just sitting in there, like just kind of relaxing, and McCormick gets to talking, and he starts saying some really weird shit. Um, I'm just gonna kind of narratively describe. He just says, um, he starts telling you like horror stories of just some stuff that he's done as an operative, probably stuff that is well above your clearance level, or it's stuff that, like, if y'all were to exchange your stories with him, you might get in trouble. but he seems to be one of those three sheets to the winds kind of people, and he doesn't. He probably would get murdered by Cloak if any of them were around. Um, but he tells you that he says, one time I was on this planet that got virus bombed. He says another time, another time early when I was a green up. He kind of looks at Mr. Slurps. He's kind of like that guy. He says I took a mission out in Cannibal Sector, one of my first missions. He says he kind of makes this gesture across the bottom of his neck, just clean off by a man machine, clean off. Gotta love lad. He says, I went to the Shade Worlds one time too. He looks at, the Evans. Drew doesn't say anything. Okay.
Still just nervously.
I will say that Damocles seems to fidget with a pendant, as McCormick did say, like, gotta love lad.
Yeah.
Damocles used to flinch a bit.
And honestly, you guys can honestly, like, just because, like, like when people start talking about some dark shit, like when when they go to that place, like you can almost feel the room get darker. And not that he's a particularly good storyteller, it's just that, and you just kind of feel like maybe the room closing in a little bit. And he says, and then there's that one time I beat Jackie Boy. And he
Excuse me?
says, huh?
Excuse me?
Jack. So I beat Jack one time.
You say that, and my head perks up.
He says, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to know about Jackie Boy? He says, I saw
Oh
him.
yeah.
I heard him spinning up his axe on a bunch of kids one time. Wasn't gonna happen. He spits on the floor. He says, it was a bit of a blur. I leveled my blitzer on him, started dog cussing him up and down. Man, I remember those metal boots of his. Nothing like it. Unnatural fast. It's like a Wraithen on Rush charging at you like a bull. That growling axe. I had an ace though. Something special. And
What's that?
he's really drunk right now. Like he's been drinking pretty hard. He says, something like you and your friends got. Bigwig stuff. He says, I
All right.
got I got him all caught up in the stare. You have no idea what that means. He smirks. No way I was gonna win that one. So I changed the rules. So McCormick won. Jackie Boy, 0 dead kids. It didn't really
Wait.
hold though. It was enough. And I ended up stranded on that other place. But here we are. And like he's like reaching for his bottle and like some of his words are slurred and honestly some of the stuff he's saying doesn't really make sense. And the Wraith Raider kind of starts tapping him on the shoulder like y'all look like y'all are about to ask some questions.
Damocles was about to ask something, but then he learns that in case of asking, it's better to keep his mouth shut, especially when talking about this stuff. So
But anyways, he starts barely acknowledges that she's like tapping him on the shoulder, and like he starts going in like he's gonna say some word, so keep talking about it, and she literally jabs him with a needle. Y'all can see it's on the side, it's on the side of the castus. It says flush. Literally hitting a hard medical drug flush, like which erases all the effects of hard drugs in your system. But even flush itself is pretty addictive. And she just jabs him with it.
What a dutiful wife.
It's like she just kind of knows he's, you know, out of his gourd. Anyways,
I,
he seems to straighten up at that moment and seems to change his line of thinking. He says, and she says, you know, you probably need to get back to the stick. And he kind of takes that as the time to go and manage the ship kind of thing. But does anyone say anything or have any questions before he goes?
yeah, man, I've got so many questions,
That's fine.
but I'm not sure it's spoken.
2 XP. We're gonna end it here.
Yeah.
I like ghost stories. So all right. Hope you guys have fun.
That was a good ghost story, Brandon.
I hope so. I hope it wasn't cheesy. But we'll end game 2 here. Hope you guys had fun.
I had so much fun.
Yes.